Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So yesterday I was mixing this song and a friend of mine was there with me and he really liked the guitar sound that I was getting and he started asking me how I got it. So I thought, let's make a video about it. Here we go. So this song that I'm working on, it's still an ongoing process. It's called Will and it's one of my original songs. I'm probably going to release it next month. And if you want to stay updated, follow me on this channel or on social media. I really appreciate that. So now let's move on to the main topic. How do you get your guitars to sound massive? So the short answer to the question, how to make your guitars sound massive, the answer is you can't get your guitars to sound massive, not on their own. I mean, there's some tricks that you can apply to make your guitars seem like they are massive, but I don't think that a guitar on its own can sound really massive, at least not in standard tuning. So I'll show you some tricks that I used here. Okay, let's take a quick listen first and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so guitars are in standard tuning, and being in standard tuning, I think overall they sound pretty big. And I really like the results that I was getting with these guitars yesterday. So yeah, I'll show you some tricks that I used to get this sound. So first of all, we must get a great guitar sound at the source. And what do I mean by that? I mean, every step of the source is very important to get right. So your guitar setup must be right. Strings, when I recorded this, were brand new. The guitar was perfectly in tune, or at least, fairly in tune. And the playing was very, very clean. So it's very important to get everything right at the source. Your guitar setup, your strings must be new, your intonation must be right, your playing must be really consistent. I recorded this over and over until I felt like my takes were played very well from the start, from the get-go. I don't fix things later. I try to get a great sound at the source. And that's one thing. Then there are some other tricks. For example, I double tracked it. So I have one guitar 100% on the left and another guitar playing the same part 100% to the right. And these are two separate takes. It's not the same track which I doubled and panned around. It's two separate takes played really well with the right sound, and then I panned them left and right. The next thing that I did was a little bit of equalization, but not too much, because like I said, I like to get my sound right at the source. This is what I did. Gentle lift in the mid-range at 500. This is the main area that I focus on when I want to get my guitars to sound more three-dimensional, let's say, for a lack of a better term. So if your guitars sound thin, the area that you want to boost even slightly is 500 Hertz. As you can see, I only boosted 1 dB, but it made the difference. It made them sound a little bit more, it gave them a little bit more body. Then I boosted 1.5K, just 2 dB, and this gives them presence, so it makes them sound more forward in the mix. This is up to you, I mean, it's up to taste. But my point is, if you want to add body, you must add a little bit of 500 Hertz, just a tiny bit. And if you want them to sound more forward and aggressive, then you have to push 1.5K just a little bit to make them sound more forward. It's not always needed, but either way, to get more body out of guitars, I always work with 500. I think it's a magic frequency. Then what else did I do? Okay, the main trick is to get a great bass sound. When my friend told me that I had a great guitar sound, I answered him, I actually have a good bass sound to support my guitars. And How do I achieve that? I try to get a bass that's very rich in the low mids, so 300 to 500. I boost that area quite a bit to make my bass sound really, to give my bass a lot of body in the low mids, and then I distort that low mid range, so it fuses with the guitars and it supports them nicely. In fact, I'll let you hear the guitars by themselves, and then I'll add the bass in, and I'll let you hear the difference. So as you can hear, my guitars they have a fair amount of body, but it's not the same without bass. Bass by itself without the guitars. So like I said, I try to get my bass to have good low mids and then distort it, and it fuses with the guitars. You can't even hear the bass that much in the mix. It fuses with the guitars and it supports them and it makes them sound bigger. So this is what I mean when I say you can't make your guitars sound big on their own, but you have some tricks that you can use to make them seem bigger. And yeah, this is what I do. This is the guitar sound on its own. I'll add the bass in so you can hear the difference. So I could talk about the bass and how I got the bass to sound like that, but I can do that in a separate video if you like this kind of thing. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you have further questions or maybe I forgot to mention something, let me know. I'll try to answer everyone in the comments. Thank you. See you in the next one.